name is Caroline from the Voice of the Spartan on March 17, 2016, here at Dodd Middle School in Cheshire, Connecticut. Today, I will be talking about basketball with Erik Johnson, who is the head coach for the women's basketball team at BC. We will be discussing what it's like to be a college basketball coach and how to be a successful one. Basketball is a very competitive sport, and to play, you have to work together with your team as one. To do this, you have to have a coach that can help you along the way and will help you progress. The coach is one of the most important parts of the team, and without the coach, your team would be lost. If you want to be a coach, you have to have a lot of patience and be understanding if something doesn't go as planned. Many successful coaches have said that the key to success as a coach is to communicate in a trustworthy manner, listen, and to be open to new ideas. These are only some ways to be a coach and to be a successful one at that. I recently got to talk with Coach Johnson to find out what he thinks it takes to be one.
How long have you been coaching for?
I guess 22 years. So I was an assistant for 14 years, and I just finished my 8th year as a head coach.
What made you want to become a coach?
I think I've always loved basketball, and even when I was a player, I think I always thought about the game, just in terms of what should we be doing, how should we be working on things, and it was something that always I always felt like I was probably going to coach when I got done. I love teaching. I wanted to be a teacher and a coach, and I just got lucky enough that I could be able to make a living doing what I love.
I know that for any job you need to have certain skills, so what skills do you think are needed to become a successful coach?
I think the best coaches, you evaluate them in basically 3 different areas. One is, technical expertise. You have to be smart about basketball, and you have to understand what you're doing. You got to be, and that's probably true for any job, but you got to know your stuff, right? So you got to be, well educated in the game and be an expert. 2, you have to be a great person. You've got to be able to be someone that can be counted on. You have to have the integrity, the honesty that people can actually count on you, and you're leading young people and those kinds of things. And 3, you got to be able to sell it. You got to be able to have a charisma, a personality that can get young people to push beyond what they think they can do, to believe, to accept a role, to change behaviors and those kinds of things. And I think the best coaches excel in all 3 of those areas. And a lot of coaches are generally lacking in one of them, and they can still be successful. But I think the best ones really do well in all 3.
How do you take these skills and apply it to your coaching?
So, look, I guess for me, I always look at, my parents are both teachers, and I really think of coaching as teaching. And so, okay, how do I make a lesson plan? How do I look at a player's development for over 4 years of the time that she's going to be under my tutelage? And that's not just as a basketball player, that's also as a student and as an emerging adult, is that basketball is a great tool to teach life lessons. And I really, really believe that when players start figuring it out academically, that's when they get good at basketball, and vice versa. When they start really working hard and understanding their role and being proactive and communicating well on the basketball court, they start doing better academically. And my hope is that every one of them is going to leave 4 years later having really learned those lessons, and then along the way, those things all feed into becoming really good at the game that we love, and being able to be a great teammate and understand how to push your team forward. So, I just want to be able to try to give every one of our players those gifts and those perspectives.
Any successful team needs to learn to play together. How do you get your team to play as one when there are many different personalities?
And I think it's one of the hardest things that we do in coaching, especially at the level that I coach. At the ACC level, these guys are being recruited heavily. Everyone tells them their whole lives that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. The recruiting process often fills their head with, hey, this is going to be great here, and you're going to be great here. And so now you've got to get people to be able to, lose the ego a little bit, be able to accept a role, be able to be okay with coming off the bench or even sitting for a couple years before they really develop into a player. And so I think we work on it every day, and we just talk about as many good examples and try to give them as much modeling from other successful teams. We have speakers come in. We have a quote of the day every day. And really, our team almost every single day is how do we become great teammates, and what's it going to take not just to be a great player, but to be a great teammate. And being a great teammate means caring about the team more than yourself, and giving up and sacrificing. And so, I mean, it's an everyday thing. And let me tell you, it's one of the most challenging things that every coach has to deal with at every level.
Being that the basketball season tends to be long, I assume that there are times when coaches and players seem not to be connecting. So how do you get through these difficult times?
Sure. We try during the off season to do as much, put as much goodwill in the bank in terms of doing fun stuff and being able to let them have a little bit of a break from us as well. And then as the season goes on, certainly as practices get a little bit shorter toward the end of the season, we take a few more extra days off. We try to really enjoy our road trips and make our road trips be, fun and relaxing, and so that, we can enjoy being together. And then it takes a lot of maintenance. It takes, having good radar about when is a kid struggling and how can we help her. And I think it takes leadership too. I think that the leadership of the team can make a big difference in the way that they conduct themselves and just treat each other and bring the younger players along and all that. So that culture that you're talking about, that really is the holy grail of coaching is developing that and then continuing it through the end of a long season. And we work to build that and protect that every day.
At any point in your career, was there a time where coaching wasn't enjoyable? And if so, how did you work through that?
Yeah, I guess there's lots of parts of it that are not fun. I hate having to, discipline a kid. We've had to kick a kid off a team or kick a kid out of practice or make him get up at 6 in the morning to run. If there has to be, an accountability and a negative consequence to somebody not doing what they need to do. I think nobody enjoys that, right? That's no fun, but no one likes that in parenting, but it's such an important part of what we do. And I think that, just like parents can't always be your best friend, coaches can't always be the one telling you that everything's okay, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Part of my role is to help them understand, I want you to be the best version of yourself, and you're better than the way you're acting right now, and you're able to accomplish better things. And whether it's going to class, whether it's having a great attitude, whether it's, just the way you treat teammates, whether it's the way you clean up your locker, whether it's, just all those things. And so unfortunately, when those things don't go well, that's probably when you get the least fun parts of coaching is having to go through those tough situations with kids. But it's an important part, so I just keep my eyes on this is helping them. This is helping make us a better team. This is helping make this a better person. And that's what keeps you going through those tough moments.
There are probably many memorable moments as a coach. Is there one that stands out for you?
Yeah, I've got a few. We've had some great wins. Both my career. I was 4 years as a head coach at the University of Denver. I was 4 years as a head coach here at Boston College. We beat Duke in a big game last year. We had a huge ACC Big Ten Challenge win at Purdue. This year was our big win when we were at Denver. We had the first win over a ranked opponent over Vanderbilt. And, when I was an assistant, we got to play the Sweet 16 and beat number 1 Ohio State to go there. But I think probably the favorite moments are when, you really get through to a kid, and often it happens after graduation. It's that, you hear back from the players that you coached, and, they talk about what a difference you made in their lives and how much they appreciate everything they learned from you and your program and their experience and all that. And I think those are the things that keep you going every day. The wins are great. Practices are, I love that practice in my classroom, and I love the interactions I have with my team and my staff. But I think that, again, the most rewarding is just knowing that you made a difference in somebody's lives and hearing that gratitude. It just really, really is awesome.
My final question is, do you have any advice for people who want to become a coach?
Sure. You gotta check to see how crazy you are to make sure you actually want to live this life. Because coaches are all nuts. We all have to put up with a lot of crazy stuff. My life is a saint dealing with the lifestyle, recruiting, and phone calls, and watching film, and road trips, and all this. But look, I say all the time that I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. I love what I do. I have to pinch myself every time I come onto this campus. I work at an amazing institution. I check the nameplate on the door as I walk in every day, make sure I'm still the head coach, and I'm like, yes, I get to come to work again. So my advice is, if it's something you love and then go ahead and chase it. There's a lot of people that really do love this, and they spend a lot of years honing their skills, paying their dues, and then sometimes that's what it takes. My first job was a volunteer coach, right? A lot of people, take a part-time job, and they still have to work another job and start getting into coaching, get their foot in the door. So, my biggest advice would be to learn wherever you can learn. Really take a look at, what level, because coaching is different at the high school level, the junior high level, small college, major college, Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, and try to really, what is it about those things that is most fun? There's a lot of coaches that they don't want to deal with all the recruiting and the crazy stuff that we have to deal with at this level. They just want to work with great kids who want to learn, and so a different level might be better for them. So, really to have your eyes wide open, and that it's not all glitz and glamour, and it's not always easy and perfect, but that if it's something you love, that it's worth it, and that, you can make it happen. And certainly, to any of your listeners, anybody who's interested in coaching that I can help, a lot of people help me. And so, again, people who want to reach out to me or an email or something like that, if there's any advice I can give, or just anybody who wants to ask questions, I have a lot of people who've helped me in my life, and I'd be happy to help any prospective coaches out there, including yourselves.
As you have heard from this podcast, there are many things that it takes to be a successful coach. As Coach Johnson said, you need to know what you are doing and be well educated in the game. It also takes a lot of work and dedication to become one. Thank you again to Coach Johnson for speaking with me, and if you want to become a successful coach, you might want to consider some things that he has said. I'm Caroline, and you have been listening to the Voice of the Spartan.